Take the X3.
Yep.
We fished for years. Yes.
There we go.
Good morning, everybody. This is a special meeting, Board of Navigation, Canal Commissioners, Wilkes County Navigation District, Friday, August the 1st, 2025, 9 a.m., 400 West Hidalgo, Suite 200, Raymondville. This public notice is given that the commission may go into executive session at any time during the meeting to discuss matters listed on the agenda when authorized to do so by provisions of section 418.183 or chapter 551 of the Texas Governmental Code. In the event the commission elects to go into an executive session regarding any other agenda item, the presiding officer will publicly announce the section and sections of the Texas Government Code authorizing the executive session. First item on the agenda, discussion and possible action regarding contracted services providers, Border Affairs and MPC Studios, Inc., including briefing on recent developments affecting website access, email hosting, marketing, and outreach and related matters. So we've got a notice from MPC that they were canceling our contract effective August 31st. So that's why we called the meeting is we have to figure out what we're going to do because we're not sure that at this time Border Affairs can, I guess, do our hosting, do our live feed, do our emails, do our the online credit card charges.
Those are the primary.
That's the primary things. And it's even the statement that we got from Emmett was that we would have to hire another host to host all that stuff.
So let me ask, NPC it's notice of canceling what contract? Because we have several services with them. Which one in particular?
They say all services.
All services. Okay.
What did that, expand on that a little, because I'm not aware of multiple contracts.
There's only one contract. They've operated everything under the contract. We're in the process with this live streaming. Once it was established, they were going to give us a service contract fee, and it's I put it in the pile.
Yeah.
But it's basically, it's a modest increase, $200 a month, I think it is, to allow them to do the live streaming, to add that to the services. But their cancellation is against everything.
Okay, so can you list those services?
Currently, they offer, or they're providing all of our email, and in all
Okay,
honesty, that's
Okay, what email is one?
that's actually why we went to them in the first place.
Okay,
Yeah, their website was a kind of a side gig that we developed over time. Email was the reason we went with them. Then we picked up that service, the website. During this website development 10 years ago, we talked about and negotiated how we would work payments. Now I can tell you about 80% of PUD's utility payments and about 60% of our navigation revenues come through the website. So it's a critical part of our.
but that's a third-party vendor, right?
Well, I think they goes through Stripe or some
Yeah,
credit card.
so
company.
they don't collect the
Correct.
money. They
That's right.
do, it's like a county, La Sara ISD, they do third party, so it's not something they do.
No, that's correct. And the
Okay.
biggest advantage,
Just to make that clear.
sure. The advantage I will offer that they do offer is because it goes to their service. They actually are on the distribution for the way that works is if you use a credit card, say whatever it is that says Stripe, I think that's who it is with. You use Stripe, they send it to Letty showing that there's there, and they send it to Virginia. Well, but the way they have it set up, they also send it to David Watkins, the head of MPC. He gets a copy. If he gets the notice that there's a payments in there, and he looks in the account, and there's something, one of the accounts is say there's one payment that's still there, he'll call the girls up and say, "Hey, did y'all miss that one?" To remind them, "Hey, there's something in the box you need to pick up." So that's been a nice thing. It's probably
So he just does a site management part
that's
of it.
right.
But the main service is the third-party
oh
vendor.
no, that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that can be done, set up by anybody, really. Schools do it, counties
Sure.
do it, all these government entities do it.
Sure.
Okay.
And then after that is our more recent add-on is this live streaming process. We paid some significant fee to get it on, but it's our equipment, so it's just a matter of figuring out how to use it in
And that's the live stream.
the last. Yes.
And that also, puts that in the cloud, right?
It's a lot.
Well, it stores it.
It's unlimited
Stores,
storage,
yeah.
that's right. And that's part of the expense, the additional expense we pay them is to pay for enough storage space to
Right.
keep this thing permanent. And
Did they come in and help with you setting up
Oh, they
this?
did all this. They did it all. We didn't touch it.
And our emails? I mean, I've never been able to use my email from the beginning.
It's because they're using rack space and they're in the process of getting rid of rack space themselves. They're not using it anymore.
Mhm.
We're transitioning regardless. Even if whoever we're with, we're gonna be using a different service. We won't be using rack space in about 3-4 months. Yeah, every single commissioner has a Port Mansfield account, but virtually no one uses it. So
Well, I haven't been able to-
Employee,
every employee also, uses it.
every employee,
Like 31 people total.
which is not necessary, but
Right, that's right. Well, and that's another thing that would be part of the transition too, is we have a lot of former commissioners that we have their email accounts. We have all the emails that they communicated with us back in the day. We still have those. And as far as I know, we need to keep them basically forever. After a little investigation we had this year, I had to potentially get in there and dig stuff up. So those files are probably our responsibility forever. Unless the legal team tells me I can get rid of them, that'd be wonderful.
you're gonna transition to
We're
.gov.
trying to just .gov right now. We already have a .gov address, so.
So is there any validity to what we're hearing about? If you have a .gov, you can't have commercial advertising on your
Don't know
site.
the details to it yet, but I would believe, based as strict as they were trying to just get the .gov address, that that is probably a correct statement to make. I can't affirm that yet, but I'm working. Our .gov was a hell of a process. I was able to get the police department there very quickly. Took a day and a half and they got there. But I've got hours now, but they didn't give me the one I wanted. I was trying to get portmansfield.gov. And they said that because our website represented 2 different agencies, they couldn't justify that. So we ended with Willacy Co navigation.gov, Willacy County navigation.gov, but I still want to try to get to Port Mansfield. I think it's more appropriate and it represents anybody in the state of Texas or anywhere in the United States in Washington, DC, when they want to talk about Port Mansfield, they don't look up Willacy County Navigation District, they look up Port Mansfield. So I'm trying to get them to give us, but yes, we are transitioning. Predominantly because as a commercial port, there's security requirements that are required of your websites and your emails and all that kind of stuff that are monitored by DHS and cybersecurity and all this other. And so we're trying to make sure we're matching everything up so we don't have issues down.
So just so that I understand, you said primarily because we're a commercial port.
Correct, that's right.
Okay.
I think that governments,
Absolutely.
that's what they consider us.
Yes, we're a government agency.
Okay.
So getting back to the contracts.
That's what we have with MPC.
The issue on the advertisements and again, within the contracts, is that gonna be an issue to do advertisements or to do links to advertisements?
Links will be no problem whatsoever.
Okay,
Absolutely no problem.
okay,
But if we go out there and put a hotel
Right.
page.
Right.
on our
Right,
website,
right.
the
But-
.gov. that-
yeah, no, but can you put a link to those businesses?
We're here for the 2 contract service providers, so let's get.
Oh, that's probably-
But this is part of that discussion because.
It's part of the general subject,
Okay.
yes, but we're here to talk about 2 contracts we have and the issues that are arising.
Well, this is part of the conversation for those contracts. In order for me to make a decision on contracts, I need to understand the logistics of it. So this conversation is well within that, at least I think.
Here's the regulations for .gov if you want to read that.
I will. I don't know.
Okay.
The bottom line is 2 contracts. One is what, $78,000?
Going to 78.
One is $8,700.
Okay, let's talk about costs on contracts. So which is so NPC is how much?
8,500.
85 per year?
Yeah,
87.
yeah, 8750. I think.
8750.
And I think there will be a modest increase with this live stream.
8,750 per year. And that covers
I would think-
emails, websites, live streaming,
And payments.
Yeah, and our.
and of course, the third party
Yeah.
processing of payments.
But just because they use Stripes or Square or whoever
Yeah.
they use,
We can use it on our own.
you still have to incorporate that into your website.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So they have a vested interest. They had to write the program to make it all public.
Yeah.
And that's, I'm not a tech person, but I'm sure that is an easy thing to do. Okay, so $8,750 per year NPC is charging us
Mhm.
for emails,
Live stream.
live streaming, and website.
Yeah, and payments.
And of course, a third-party payment process. And let me write.
And cloud storage.
And collection.
But that's included in the
Yes.
website. It's not like it's an extra thing.
Well, no, because the live streaming has to be kept forever, we have to have special such cloud space set aside.
That's not an extra cost. That's,
Our cost did go up slightly, but yes, it's a modest.
is that you said the 200 a month? So we're gonna add that on top of the 8750, or is that already included?
Yeah,
So it's
the
not
Uh,
8750.
original contract
Was
was
$7,500,
$725 a month.
right? In like just under 8,000.
$8,700 a year, and then if they add 200 to that, that'd be 24, so that'd be 10,000.
So it's 11,000.
Yeah, right, let's say the.
10 to
Yeah.
11,000 per year. And border affairs, you mentioned there's another proposal?
There is a secondary proposal, or they have the original agreement that we have with them is 47,000 a year for various things, and I had the contracts in front of you. The third thing in the pile is a recently received thing about, it's entitled Website Service Plan, and it's, that costs us $500 a month on this, top of that, so that's 6,000. So it brings the total for border affairs to 78,000.
Okay, but border affairs, we hired them to do public relations.
Correct.
That's different than these items
Sure.
talked about here. So let's put apples to apples
Yep.
together. So website, their proposal is how much?
500 a month.
500 a
No,
month.
no. Website's not $500 a month. Website is 72,000.
Oh, yeah.
For the website?
An additional 72,000?
No, that's what we pay every year with border
What we're
affairs.
paying now.
That's
Okay.
base flat rate before you
Okay.
add anything to it. Then they add another 500 on top of that.
All right, so let's see. I want to make sure I
We haven't
understand.
gotten to the part of
But
payment for.
Section-
this 78,000, we do got to remember that it's not an additional I mean, it is an additional, what, I want to say, what, 12, 20,000 that we were paying because we got rid of,
Yeah.
what's his name? Ron. Shepherd's
Yeah, I
Group.
understand it,
Okay.
but border
We-
affairs, there's a difference. Ron would go to Austin and talk to Congress people on our behalf. I doubt border affairs is gonna do that. Okay,
The one thing I was, to bring up the website thing, the original contract with Border Affairs included, enhanced website and some other things. So I was a little surprised to see an additional fee added to that, but there is a significant amount of this agreement, or not significant, but a relatively large amount of the agreement covers website, traffic conflicts, things of that. There's a whole section on the current Port Mansfield website has a traffic conflict. So that was part of the original proposal that was presented at 7,200.
Okay, so that I understand, because I'm a visual person. If
Yeah.
I don't put it down, I don't understand it. So Border Affairs' initial proposal to do public relations
Yeah.
was to create content for the website, not to manage the website, but to create content and do public relations. So let's keep those two separate. For that, we're paying them how much?
72,000 a year.
Okay. And do all those services that has to do with public relations. Now, what I'm hearing you say is that they submitted a proposal to now manage the website. I mean, the website.
Apparently, yeah, basically.
Okay, how much is that?
500 a month,
Okay,
6,000 a year.
okay, now we're getting there. Say
now it adds up to 78,000.
yeah, okay, but these other guys weren't doing the public relations and the other stuff, the content. I mean, last time I read that thing, it looked like a high school kid had written that stuff.
I disagree with
Yeah,
that.
well, and that's okay to disagree. I'm just telling you what I read. So we wanted some good viable content that would promote the Port Mansfield area within, not only around here, but across the country. And I wasn't seeing that in the website. And that was the impetus behind getting a service that could do that extra stuff and run. That's not your forte.
Yeah.
Two, you don't have the time.
Right.
So that's why we were moving towards this. And I go back and I want to anchor it to our strategic plan where we talked about public relations as being one of our key goals, and that was way before this crazy stuff has been happening at Port Mansfield. So one of the reasons that I really wanted to get a public relations is because no one was telling our story. I mean, we need to be very aggressive upfront about putting the right facts about Port Mansfield as a commercial port, as was mentioned here. In addition to that, to help the community businesses to promote them so that they can make money. I mean, they are happy, we are happy. They pay taxes, they pay their fees. We want to help them with that. I really think we can do both. It wasn't happening, guys.
We
So-
never asked MPC to do it.
I know.
We would ask
We had
them-
to
You
compare.
read section 2 right here in their contract
Which one are you talking about?
of Border Affairs.
Okay.
It says explicitly that, it says effective execution of these services requires the client to provide the content. They're not providing any damn.
Okay. Well,
We provide it, look. If we
Okay.
provide it to MPC, they'll put it on our website for zero.
so
If we provide
yeah.
it to them, they'll put it on a website, but here's the other thing. What is our goal here? Our goal is to operate a port. It's to have the correct infrastructure to make Fort Mansfield grow.
Okay.
Road, sewer, water. It's not to promote necessarily hotels, restaurants, bait stands. Not that that's not a good thing, but I mean, that should be the Chamber of Commerce's responsibility.
They're too busy doing fishing tournaments.
So maybe if the chamber wants to throw some money in the pot to help. us
So
advertise.
again, so you said to promote the port. Let's operationally define what that is. And I know again, I'm going back to strategic planning. We spent a good chunk of time, it was before your time, Eric. We spent a good time really laying out what were the top 3 to 5 key goals in strategic planning. And one of them was to promote the port.
The
Sin-
port.
The port. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But that was one key area, but the other one was to promote Port Mansfield in the fishing community. It was not just one over the other, it was both of them. I mean, go back to the strategic plan. It's very clearly written there. It's not something that you thought about. It goes back to it. And we said, and help me here, and I know I'm getting old and I'm losing my memory in some things, and only when it benefits me, but that's another thing. But it's promoting the port to get port commerce business, as has been said here. That's why we're getting a .gov piece. But also we said, you know what? If we promote the port in it, we can also promote the community that we have because it's a win-win for both. It was never one over the other. However, because we didn't have public relations and telling our story, this one-sided group took it to one side.
But
I mean,
let's ask ourselves, who's responsible for that?
well,
You, me, Lefty, and you, because we didn't tell Ron, who is an employee, by God, we want you to put something out on our webpage that says a lot of this accusations are not
bunch
correct.
of BS.
Right. So it's not MPC's fault. We didn't ask them to do it. We should have done that.
But
because
we
it
did
was
go
there
out, we
for
did
us
go
to
out for
utilize.
bids. We did, why didn't they come in? Why weren't they in the picture when we went out for
We
bids?
did go out for
Process.
bids.
No, so that's,
We
now
did.
they want to jump in?
No, they've
Yeah.
always.
Going out for bids on any of this.
Yeah, we did.
Well, we asked you. We went-
Quotes, not bids,
we-
quotes.
we-
You don't have to go to bids, you
Yeah,
do
I-
quotes.
And I did not know
That's what I meant.
had the ability to do
75,000, we have to have quotes,
Okay.
do we not?
over 50, actually, yes.
Yeah.
So there you go.
So,
And we did.
and we did.
We did.
And you said
Yes.
everything
The
was
other one,
above
100,
that.
125,000
Exactly.
was the other one. But I'll admit, I didn't go to NBC because I didn't know they had the capacity to do this.
No.
To me, they're an IT company, so I never asked them any questions.
Again, guys, so one of the things that I want, and I'm speaking for myself, the rest of you can talk, but it's, I want to see Port Mansfield promote the port as we are sanctioned by state statute. But I also want to see the promotion of the community. Yes, the Chamber of Commerce has its role, and I used to be in the Raymondville Chamber of Commerce. Two different animals, two different things. But hey, I'm not part of that chamber, but I want to be able to promote the businesses that are there and possibly get some more businesses, because that brings revenue, that brings healthiness in there. It can't just be all retirees and no business. You have to do both. And you also have to do the port commerce, because luckily we still have the funding for the dredging. Is that correct?
Yes, as if Wednesday.
As of Wednesday. So what happens afterwards? And here we're walking on eggshells, because they gave that because we had a contract, we had viable business. We have nothing right now. I mean, I don't know how many boats can now pass through that channel right now. Not many. So what I'm saying is we can do both. And what we need, and giving grapefruits to state people, let me tell you, I talked to a lot of representatives and they would laugh at that. I'm sorry, but I'm connected with the capital as well, and I know what's going on. So how can we come up with both so that we can promote port commerce and we can promote the community to get more businesses? And that's why I'm looking at a contract. What can we do? And I'm also a taxpayer, my area. So hey, 72,000, use the money from Lazada. It's a good benefit, because we ain't getting port commerce.
I agree with what you're saying, but I don't think that's the issue here. The issue here is we've got to decide if we want to go to a different host, or if we want to stay with MPC, or because board says in writing that they can't handle it, then we'll have to hire another
Say
host.
that.
Wait, why is, first, let me understand, why is NPC canceling our contract? What's,
Because some controversy as far as
How to make
administrative,
administratively to border affairs. There was some issues between border affairs getting a tax to MPC and getting access where they can make modifications to the site. Some commentary about legal actions that MPC border affairs wanted to take against MPC and MPC.
Where is that?
we have NPC,
Where does that say that?
They're here, they're online, but.
Yeah.
we're not here, nobody's here, so we don't have a physical person to talk to.
Ron, where does it say that about legal action? I couldn't find that.
Show you.
Yeah, let me see. I might have missed that,
Well,
Ron.
I didn't have a copy to put on your tape, so you had.
Okay.
Who wants to take legal action?
Used to have a copy, or at least Steve.
I put my glasses on that.
Because I didn't see any of that.
It's not, the
It's
stuff
not
I
in
have.
there. It's not in there at all, so you don't.
right here,
Oh,
it says the board, most
what are
likely,
you reading?
this is a letter from David, from MPC.
Well, but it's with Emmett.
Yeah, with Emmett.
Is that an email communication?
Yeah.
Okay, what does it say? What date is that?
This was the 23rd.
7/23?
Yes, sir.
Is that this email?
Will you read it?
No.
Okay, read
Yes,
it.
it is. Yes, it is.
Okay,
Yes,
what paragraph are you in?
it's right here at the bottom.
All right. Go ahead and read it.
It says, the board will most likely consider your company's refusal to enter or operate their own property to include any damages or losses due to delays incurred in this project.
What? Read that again, please.
It says the board will most likely consider your company's refusal to enter or operate their own property to include any damages or losses due to the delays incurred in this project. This was from Border Affairs.
Okay, so
Border Affairs here?
Yes.
Who wrote that?
consider.
Emmett. And let's also, well,
Okay, so let me digest that sentence, please. Give me time. It is our opinion that if it is determined by Wilson County Navigation District Legal Counsel that you're billed them for completion of a website and it's owned by WCND and not MPC, the board will most likely consider your company's refusal to enter or operate their own property to include any damages or losses due to delays. What does that mean?
I take real issue with that.
Yeah, but explain it in
Because
layman's terms.
In no, I don't know. I don't have a legal opinion on these contracts yet. Okay, because I haven't evaluated anything. All I can say is that somebody is making a statement that suggests a conclusion I may come to, and I don't appreciate that at all.
Okay,
That
But
was
fundamentally, what it, if I could, that.
okay, that's not how I'm reading it. I'm reading it as, because it's saying, consider your company's refusal to enter and operate their own property. Own property, I'm thinking content.
We have the WCND.
Content, so if,
I just don't want us to be pulled into any conversation like that. When I have not had a chance to even look at or evaluate any issue that's come up. This is between those two. We should not be pulled into.
Yeah.
I take real.
So
well,
the issues are between MPC and Border Affairs.
Do not
but,
implicate.
but,
us
and,
in-
but this is the thing, Allison, I wanna understand this. So we're telling a vendor A, we want you to put X, Y, and Z in our website.
Mhm.
Vendor A says, we've been trying, but vendor B, who has the contract with you, is not allowing us to go in there. Vendor A is telling vendor B,
That's not.
I'm just telling you how I'm interpreting it. Yeah, I may be wrong. I'm just telling you how I'm understanding it. Vendor A is telling vendor B, we need access to put the things that we've been contracted to do. Vendor B saying, no, vendor A is saying, well, you're stopping Wilson County Navigation District from putting the content that we were hired to put in there. I'm assuming they're saying, and they're here to answer, to say, if you do that, refusal to enter or operate their own property to include any damages or losses due to delay incurred in this project. I mean, I understand that. What will it take to have vendor B say, yeah, okay, go ahead and do it? Had they said, yeah, go ahead and do it, here, access, put the stuff in there,
Well,
we
first of
wouldn't
all,
be in this meeting.
I'm just gonna say, I don't know the detail behind refusal of access. I don't know exactly what happened. I don't know what the technical requirements are. I don't understand those. And damages that come out of that, that's gotta be something tangible. I don't know what that is.
Okay,
either.
so my
But
question to
things
you,
like we
Allison.
Never had a
Yeah,
conversation
yeah.
about that whatsoever.
So
related to these contracts.
Allison, my question to you as a commissioner and your legal counsel, had you not been having conversations with Ron about this issue?
We hadn't been an issue.
No,
except
I
we
haven't- I haven't
exchanged
heard anything.
emails.
Well, but were you privy to the conversations that were going on between the two?
Yes.
So why would you not involve legal to say, Allison, I want you to take a look at this. This is the conversation that's going on.
Because it wasn't a legal issue, it was an access issue between two different companies.
I understand, but it's a contract issue as well.
I don't. recall
So at what,
an
at
updated
what
meeting.
point in time, Allison, would have wanted to be included in this conversation?
Well, this really didn't become an issue until we got the council
On the
voted
Okay.
MPC.
But I'm saying is, I always like to get legal involved to say, hey, Allison, take a look at this. This is what they're having communication. What do you think? Then you say, you know what? Let me talk to these parties because
Mhm.
there's something here, because you represent us in the legal aspects of
Right,
this,
that's correct.
and I expect that.
Sure.
And Ron, I expect you to say, hey, this just came over my desk.
Right.
You need to take a look at it.
Right. And when I got the notices on Monday at 8:00, 8:23, I think it was in the morning, telling me that NPC was stepping aside, because they didn't really specify. They just said they were stepping aside. We immediately got on the phone with Allison within 5 minutes. So,
Mhm.
so
Cause talking about the content,
Okay.
Border Affairs had access. They stood up here in the last meeting and said they didn't. but obviously I gave you that paper that shows that they did. They had editorial rights, not administrative. You know what administrative is? They can go inside that server and see all of the companies that they represent. That's
Well,
administrative.
I don't know about that.
Editorial says that they can go into our account, they can create pages, they can do, change wording, content, whatever they want to do. They had that access all the time since, what, April?
Yeah, something like that.
Emmett, you're here. Is that correct? And
Yes,
So-
wait a minute.
no, would be good.
Yeah,
Hold on, hold on.
Appreciate.
Hold on. We don't have MPC here to represent themselves. So we need to go by the documents that we have in front of us. If you want to ask a simple question, that's fine, but
well, I
I'm
just,
not gonna
I
open this up.
want to confirm, what,
It has to do with them.
yeah, I want to confirm because right?
Yep.
It's, and only to that question, is that correct, what Commissioner Kendrick said?
It's not accurate for the scope of work that we require.
Okay, can you
And I-
explain?
Yes or no is all we need. Did you have editorial rights?
I had editorial,
Okay, but
editorial rights does not allow us to do what we need to do, but I'd love to provide you the clarification.
please do so. Please
And
do.
I will assure you, that there is actually the most curious part of what we're discussing right now is that there is actually no conflict of interest between us as a vendor, our scope of work and responsibilities, and NPC Studios. NPC Studios, I will completely support their ability to continue their service agreement
Okay.
with y'all. There's no need for us to get involved with the services that they're performing for you. They are unique and
Okay.
separate. And I would provide you with objective confirmation after this, if we'd like to set up a meeting with Webflow, your website providers, and they can correct or substantiate any of the comments that I'm about to provide you. If you'd like disclosure, this is not about, the information I'd like to provide y'all has nothing to do with border affairs, and it has nothing to do with NPC Studios. It has to do with how your website is actually run. And my recommendation is to eliminate both NP Studios and Border Affairs from being responsible for your website. We have no dog in this fight. We have no interest in taking over this responsibility. The only reason we provided a possible solution is because NPC floated that they made the statement. If we were given the access that's required for us to do our work, that they would cancel your contract. Now, I didn't create that. I didn't create that conflict or make that ultimatum. But very simply, editorial access to that website allows us to change words and pictures. We have no interest in simply changing words and pictures.
Correct.
We are adding pages, we're adding buttons, we're adding links. Those things require administrative access.
Thank you, sir. Now, let me pause there. So in order to satisfy what the commission wants,
Mhm.
you need more than just editorial access. Is
For
that
our
correct?
scope of work?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We need.
And if MPC is able to do that,
Mhm.
would you be able to continue doing the work in
Absolutely. The
conjunction
only
with that?
reason we've not been able to proceed is because we do not have that.
Okay,
And it's very important for y'all to understand from Webflow, not from Border Affairs and not from NPC Studios. Webflow is a platform that has as of early 24, over 500,000 websites being hosted on this platform, okay? Webflow is the service that hosts and holds your website. Administrative access, as per Webflow, and I can provide it to you in writing, does not provide server access. It absolutely does not. Otherwise, those 500,000 administrative access to the websites would be able to get into their server and see everything. Webflow is essentially Wix or Squarespace or the other website tools that people use to make websites. You cannot, it is not possible to get server access. It is a ruse, it is subterfuge, and there's no purpose in bringing this up. They can simply give us admin access, and I'll even, if they were here, they would explain to you that when they make website corrections, when they make website additions, modifications to a website, they do not work on the live website. They make a copy of that website. They take it to a special place called the staging site.
Mhm.
They work on it in a protected
Design.
area.
Okay,
It's
we're
drafted
good. We're
and it's
good, Emmett.
approved. and then it gets published. But the best part is you're being provided hosting service. And in that hosting service from Webflow, there are automated backups. And at any time that you or anyone else, this is not about border affairs. If anybody goes in, if you want to put the safety protocols in place to ensure that nobody makes a mistake and cuts the red wire instead of the blue wire, you make a copy of that website. That copy is kept. It's no different than any file in your computer. You keep that file. You take a copy of this website, you put it in this special protected space, you work on it, it's tested, it's approved. The client and your legal counsel approves the content, and at that point, it gets
It's
published.
moved in there. Okay.
And even then, if that was done poorly for whatever reason, you still have the safety backup. So the concept that there'd be some kind of security protocol or safety, or that the technology is so delicate, it's simply not the case. And just to make the point, the subscription that NPC has for y'all for Webflow can simply be migrated to your own subscription. And I would recommend you do that so that you don't rely on NPC or Border Affairs or anyone else, that you hold custody of that relationship directly between your website provider and the board, and your email provider, which is a different person, and your payment services that we suggest have anything to do with NPC, which do not. Okay, that's a third-party payment service, and your contact form for lease payments was a construction form that y'all had paid for. It's already exists, and it will go with the website wherever you go. There will be no disconnection. There's no, every point that they're suggesting that they're insisting they need to cancel services with y'all, honestly, have no idea why they would do this. It's not for me to decide. But I can provide y'all with objective. If you want to get on your vendor support system, Webflow or whoever's doing your email support, they will tell you conclusively that none of these things are real.
Okay. So just in summary, what I'm hearing you say, Emmett, is that you already don't have an interest in taking over what MPC is doing. You want to continue doing what we hired to do. But in order to do that, MPC needs to give you access as administrative, not only editorial.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We have Webflow accounts with clients. If they wanted, they could just give us a copy of the file and we could work on it over here and then hand it back to them.
And
And there would
put
be
it in
no
there.
interruption. There would be no issue. And if they wanted to be the final confirmer that the configuration was done properly and safely, it's perfectly fine. It
Okay.
truly is, from a technical standpoint, none of these suggestions of interwoven technologies and so forth, it just simply doesn't exist. But the best part is they can keep it all. They can keep it all tightly interwoven or whatever they're suggesting. Our scope of work is not part of any of the services they're providing.
We've offered this solution multiple times.
Well,
let me ask a question. You've gone on and on and on. That's fine. You answered your question, hopefully.
Yep.
So who hosts all of y'all's websites now?
It depends. We use WP Engine for our WordPress sites, Webflow sites, which we have a couple. We use Webflow. Webflow is
I don't care about how they're structured.
Okay.
I honestly don't. I'm not a surgeon, so I don't care about that. Okay, so right now, we own our domain.
Mhm.
Okay. We also own all the content, photos, and anything else that's displayed. So if y'all aren't concerned about any of that, which obviously you're not, you just said they can carry on what they're doing just fine.
Absolutely.
Why don't y'all just doing something that's totally structured toward Chamber of Commerce stuff? So that appears to be what y'all want to do. Restaurants, hotels, fishing guides, whatever else, which is fine.
I disagree with that.
Big time.
No. Let me put in what the strategy is. And as I understood, what their strategy is. Well, my strategy, and I already said what it was, is number one, promote port commerce and work with the community. Why? Because I believe it's not one or the other, it's both. And I've always said this. People out there have totally change that, that all I want is barges in here. No, I never said that. We want both of them. So one of the things that, and I remember Emmett's presentation is it's how do we, because it's part of public relations. And he said it, he's neutral. In looking at from the outside is how do we get what you all want as part of the commission to get port commerce? How do you do, but also how do you build the community? And one of his strategies in building the community was to build a relationship with the businesses, with the people and everything. That just makes a hell of a lot of sense. And that's and that's but no one's doing that. Ron doesn't have time. That's not his forte. He's, so how do we get an entity that can come in and work with the community, meet with the chamber? What are you doing? How can we work together versus us against them? I don't believe in the us against them. I believe in working together. So the concept that they came up with is Port Mansfield United. And I love it because it's working together. And the minute we say no, it's us against them. It's how can we work together? How can we build a port and how can we build the community? Because in the, I don't, yeah, in the last fishing tournament, I'm supposedly being stealing money from the navigation district.
That somebody got it on their.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, and that's,
Mansfield United.
yeah, no, but that's
it is.
one of the things that I'm saying is we need to come up with an entity that tells our story. What is it we were really trying?
Why can't NPC do it though? And we
Because they
saved
have-
$75,000.
Why would we save $75,000? We and going back and having people put false stuff?
Yeah, put
No.
stuff on our website, not on the
No,
navigation's website.
No, well, we put false stuff on about our community. And Eric, you're now one of us compared according to them.
For me to
They
talk
weren't
to.
invited.
Yeah.
They
Well, that's-
weren't invited.
That's I don't see it that way, Eric.
Be just,
Working together, getting public relations,
But it's in.
getting public relations to get this thing.
Okay, that's
Should have come.
really not the issue
Piece and something, I would be.
here.
Yeah, I know.
The issue here is what do we,
how much money if they didn't
What
show.
do we do? Let's getting back to point with Emmett. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Again, if MPC says, hey, well, yeah, we wrote that letter. If they want to keep doing and give access so that these guys can do what we asked them to do, I'm okay with that. It was never about getting rid of NPC. The only reason that I'm
Why
thinking
don't
about
we
that.
Let NPC do it and save all the money.
Because they haven't done worth crap. They're,
Ask them
didn't
to.
ask them to do it.
well,
That's not what,
no,
that's not what NPC.
Yes,
does.
they do that.
That's what.
no.
Yes,
Yeah.
Well, they're
I
not
don't
gonna
know,
do,
They do.
hundreds of
Yeah.
people like us, they do.
they're not doing,
To do it, just say, this is what we expect and this is what we want. Can you do it? Put it on there.
One of the things
No,
that we discussed, Steve and I did, is you're talking about putting information on there about what the board's doing and how we're trying to promote.
Yeah.
Is in our monthly meetings, let's have a section on the agenda for us to decide what we want to put in there. What information do we want to put out to the public? So it's not false information. It's the information that the board wants to put out there.
I like that idea.
Just have a little discussion for 5 minutes. Hey, next week we got this coming up. Let's get them to put it on our website. So that way we're all involved in what goes on
Well,
there.
it takes, I think it takes more than that. I think that's a shallow way of seeing this thing. I don't want to come up again in a few months with a lot of stuff about, there's two parts to it. One is how do we promote the port? And when I say the port, it's port commerce, as we've said, but also the community. How do we get more people there to get into the fishing guides, to get into the stores, to come back and want to do business and set up businesses? We want to do those things. This ain't going to do that. They're in their office out there. We want someone that's active, working physically in front of them. That's what I want. Let's give it a shot. And I'm sure it's going to work out either way. And I'm more positive that it's going to work the way that I envisioned this thing. We can always come back to the drawing board, but this other stuff hasn't worked. We've been bombarded. Everybody's been, I'm tired of that stuff, guys.
You ought to live
I'm
there.
just freaking tired of that. And it's just, we're trying to do the right thing for both entities.
it's looking at the bigger picture, the big
Exactly.
huge picture.
Exactly.
future, a vision, it's
So
outside.
again, just to summarize and in closing, is I'm okay with them continuing doing that, but they need to give access, administrative access, not editorial, to these other guys so they can do what I, as a commissioner, voted on getting them to do it.
Well, they've already said they're not gonna do that.
Okay,
Well,
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 They
then,
will come back. They will talk to us about it and
Yeah.
we'll still
So-
maintain our position. We just have to figure out what that looks like. So,
Yeah. so again, in terms of action, I would say, Ron, just visit with them again, get them together, put it on the table, let's square this thing out. It's not about canceling people, it's about how do we work together? We're adult guys.
So you in favor of spending another $500 a month?
No, I'm, no, plan A
That
would
would
be,
apply if
no.
we stay with NPC.
yeah, it was, as Emmett said, they have no interest in it. If MPC says, hey, yeah, let's sit down, let's visit with them, let's see what do they need, and if they can grant that, I'm fine leaving it the way it is. With MPC running their aspect of it,
an extra 200 a month.
Oh, yeah. So
2,000.
they got to store all this data.
And they're-
yeah, well, but that was coming anyway,
Yeah,
that was
that's-
coming anyway.
That's correct.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with
That's
what's happening right now.
Hold on a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, so looks like the option is we just drop MPC. It's board decision, right?
Yeah,
Okay, drop MPC and go 100%
hmm
with these guys, which means that their $72,000 bid is out the window. But you're gonna have to store this on the cloud forever. Right? You're gonna have to create all of the other things that currently you don't have. I would assume that your price would escalate.
well, yeah, because we didn't contract them to do that.
No, it's all we need. I don't need a
It's,
number.
it's not a yes or no.
Oh,
I didn't answer.
okay.
Here's the thing.
Well, no, because we need to understand.
I've been coming here and I've been talking about, there's two principles, two ideas, two ideologies that we want to put out there because the board, the community is not in sync. And there's two things that are happening here in this boardroom, that happening over here in this.
Okay, we don't need another presentation. And the only reason I'm saying that is because NPC is not here and this meeting was not designed for y'all to come in here and do another presentation. We're just gonna go off the paperwork that we have here. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm just assuming, like buying a car, if you wanna add air conditioner, the price goes up. Fire steering, the price goes up.
That's the way life works.
Right. So if you're gonna add 33 emails, you're gonna add, all of the payments from PUD and the leaseholder payments and the other items we wrote on there, obviously, the price is gonna go up. Now, you can tell me no, it won't, and make me feel good, but we've been down that road before,
Hand this back to you. This,
you know?
just to
So,
clarify, this is not us.
We knew that.
Understand that.
Yeah.
We're just letting you know that somebody already captured your title on Facebook.
and that right there, Fort Mansfield United, it's already been hacked. Why in the hell would we wanna use that?
Well, they've been not necessarily hacked, it's been used. And maybe we revisit that one already. I get it. But going back to the item on the agenda, one, and again, and I'm repeating myself, one, I didn't come into this meeting to cancel NPC. I came in to understand what's going on. And if they're willing to continue working with us and give access to border affairs so that they can do what they need to do, I'm a happy camper.
But they already said they weren't gonna do that.
I understand that, but
And I say, let them go and we find somebody else. We just find somebody else to
We
do
already
it.
got somebody else right there.
I've got a question.
well
They
then,
already said they can't
They're
do.
doing it.
Oh, they can do it for a price. Everything can be had for a price.
Well, yeah, that's what they're doing here for a price. I mean, MPC's doing the same thing for a price.
How much is
Anybody's
the
gonna do it.
differential there?
Well, right now it's 500. MPC's charging what, 700?
And they're charging
500?
72,000.
no,
Oh,
72,000.
already here.
That's two different things.
Okay,
Two different things. They're not doing the email, the website, and the live streaming. That's a total different piece.
that's what I'm saying. That's gonna make 72.
We're-
go up.
I understand that.
8,000.
You're adding more to your cart.
I understand.
You're adding
Well, I
more to your
said-
cart.
Lefty had a question.
Oh, sorry, Lefty.
You know, I'm listening to all of this. And if I was buying a car and they didn't tell me that I might need air conditioning or I might need a power steering, a good vendor would say, hey, you're gonna need this and this and this. Why hasn't NPC, I mean, I'm not for or against anybody.
I can't answer that question.
Why haven't they come to the table or to a meeting and say, hey, guys, if we do this, we can enhance both commerce and the port. I mean, I'm just trying to rationalize this.
I know.
You know,
I don't care which one does it. I really don't.
You know,
Or maybe even somebody we don't know about yet. What I'm concerned about is we're already in a deficit, okay? We do not have the funds that we need to have. But yet we're taking on another $75,000.
Yeah.
I can't wrap my brain around that.
Because we need to bring in business to make money. We have to bring in business. How else are we gonna do that? I mean, it's part of business. That's what you do. You have to go out and market.
What we do for how long have we had this website we've got now, huh?
11 years.
Did you ever-
11
Did
years.
you ever see it? I mean, I went through it one time. I went through it it was just redesigned.
Well, we just redesigned it recently.
Even just-
Yeah. Within the last year, we redesigned it, but we've had a contract with NBC for 11 years.
Right. So I don't know where the crack is that we all fell into, which is not asking them to provide more.
Because I had no idea. I thought they were an IT
I
company. I had
mean,
no idea.
in the meeting, we talked about when all this stuff with concerned citizens was going on, repeatedly said, I told you repeatedly, Ron, get something out in front of the people.
And did he?
Well, they're on our website.
But did he do it?
I'll ask you.
Yes,
Did
we
you do it?
See anything?
Did we put anything?
If
We
you
put a
go on our
couple
website,
of
there's
things.
multiple postings about.
We put in a couple of things in there. Yes.
That's the issue. We can put in things, but it needs to make sense.
It's
It needs
just
to
like
make
their
sense.
contract said, we have to provide the content.
Well, yeah, we have to give the meetings. We have to
Visit with us.
to
So
happen.
don't blame NPC. We didn't provide them any content.
Yes, we could. We could have literally said, come to our meetings and see what we have. That's the content. This is the content.
No.
Again, and I'm gonna use the public relations person in the district that I work with. He visits with me, give me some content. Well, I'm having this event. That's what they're talking about.
Mhm.
They visit with the superintendent. What's the content? Boom. They put it together. They got news stories. They take pictures. That's what they're talking about. You provide the content for them to put it together and then publish. That's how it works.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, we all.
Public relations. Well, so then what's the misunderstanding?
Any content? I don't know. I'm just
Because
saying.
Ron that's not his job to do. Well, I mean, it is to provide content, but
Whose
he's
job
doing
is
a
it?
director. He's
Is
doing everything else.
my
That's why we're
job, your
hiring
job,
somebody.
and your job?
Exactly. That's why we're hiring somebody.
Yeah.
To do that for us.
Okay, so y'all gonna need to have somebody here at least once a week.
We've tried that.
So to get all the feedback. Right,
That is correct.
okay.
Okay. So, and Eric, I want to go back to, because it'll make a bearing on my decision. You said they can't do this.
Right. That's in writing right here.
Okay, what does it say? Can you read that? And what document are you looking at?
I'm sure you've got a copy of it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, just finding it.
was that an email or is that a
I mean,
one of the forums?
Honestly, I don't want to work with NPC. That's just me personally. Only because they're canceling their contract.
says we
and-
recommend the board secure alternate vendors for these item services.
Again, what are you reading?
The one you were reading before.
Oh, the same one?
Yeah, same one.
That one.
I'm sorry.
What paragraph are you in, Eric?
It's right here at the bottom. It's in, that's actually highlighted.
Oh, yes.
Second page, probably here.
Oh,
And I don't, I'm not an IT guy, so I don't understand a lot of this stuff, but, to me, that's plain language, is that if we get away from MPC, we have to hire another vendor to handle everything that MPC is doing, and then they still have access to do the public relations part. And I don't know, I'm sure there's a cost involved in that.
They have my proposal from the 21st.
What's that one?
It points out the entire scope of what we are able to do. One extension on the 21st.
Just ask them if they can do it or not.
Yeah, I'm
They're here.
trying to,
Reading.
so I'm reading an email dated July 23rd. And it's from Emmett to David. And in one of the paragraphs, paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4, it starts with your concept of a tightly integrated stack of services, in our opinion, is simply a misconception. You are a highly competent developer and you are aware these components are connected but not integrally coded. They have the capacity to be separated, just as you chose to refuse our access to the website. If you choose to refuse to support those ancillary services, we will recommend to the board to secure alternate vendors for these item services. Again, providing the services, including hosting and website maintenance, it is not our primary scope, and such is being triggered solely by MPC's reluctant to work in accord. So the question is, can you do that? Can you explain that?
If you don't have a document from July 21st, I think it's appropriate that you look at it because it outlines every single aspect that we're willing to cover in order to have that smooth transition between one vendor to the next. Not only that, there's also additional services. To your point that you're spending $7,500 or whatever that, $750, our price is still $500. You're still going to pay less. But if you have that document in front of you, you'd be able to, we wouldn't have this discussion because you'd understand what we have the capacity to do and what we don't have the capacity to do.
Okay.
Thank you. He asked a specific question. He asked, do we have capacity or not?
Yes.
Yes or no?
We absolutely do. Okay, we absolutely
Okay,
do.
great.
Good, you can sit down now.
Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank
Well,
you.
thanks.
Absolutely. I've set up a website before, and I know that it includes email. It includes be able to add it. I mean, this is just me. I'm not an IT person. And I know I've set up a website. It does take somebody that knows a little more to kind of keep up with it. So I think that's what my understanding. I think that's what MPC does. So I'm understanding the email where it's saying they're separate services. I understand that it can be done. For this price, I think maybe we could find somebody else. They don't want to do this. They don't want to help us. So I honestly, in my opinion, I don't want to work with them. I personally don't want to work because of the way that they're handling things. That's me.
Well, is there any more discussion? I mean, we're gonna look at, they've already added another $6,000 a year to us. So-
Which replaces the,
We didn't,
But we don't have to
We
go
didn't
with
vote.
Border Affairs. We can, let's go out and let's look for another company that does this. Like I said, all they're doing is just putting the email, making sure, keeping up with that. They just need to give access.
I don't disagree with your commentary. The problem is it's pretty time critical. Because the time critical is that by August 31st, if we lose what we have, we don't collect any more payments. So everybody it's gonna have a significant impact on it. That means we have to have an intensely fast turnaround.
so Ron, well, let me ask you this, and I know you've been talking to them, and I'm going back to just wrapping my head around this thing. Number one, I know MPC says as of this date, we're finishing our contract with you. Number one, are they willing to reconsider that aspect with the condition that they get full access to what Border Affairs needs so that they can do their part?
I believe that they imply they would.
Okay.
According to
Okay.
their email, they imply they would.
Okay.
But are they? I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
So that's one. That would be for me, and I'm speaking for myself, that would be plan A, only because it doesn't disrupt services
Correct.
as this can.
Can I ask a technical question? But I need to add somebody that knows.
Sure.
And
That's why they're here.
Can I ask you a question? So if we were to, if MPC were saying, you know what, we don't want to work with you, could we get that third party? Would that be a quick way to take over that third party payment? Or is it?
Completely be a flawless and seamless experience. Again, I would be recommending that the board open their own subscription. NPC Studios migrates this live site over to a different account and nothing changes. There's not a blip on the screen. There's no need for payment rebuilding. None of those things happen. And I cannot emphasize enough how unnecessary this conversation is. Because even if you,
Well, no, this conversation is necessary.
well, but it's based upon premises that are simply not
Yeah,
accurate.
but it's $75,000.
No,
No,
I appreciate
no,
that.
you keep going to that
In terms of
$75,000.
migrating the website,
yeah.
we're not rebuilding a site. We're not disposing of a site. As you stated, you own the content, you own the site. And so if you call, which I would recommend your organization, open a subscription with Webflow, and they simply change the owner to this other account. The existing owner says, yes, release it to this other client.
And if they
that's it.
don't, if they say no, then what?
Can't do that.
They can't say that.
We own it.
So it's an easy.
So it's an easy fix. So, because what I'm hearing here is that it's going to be disrupt services. We're going to take,
So there's a
is
minute.
that what's going to happen?
There's no disruption.
Okay, good.
This is if from your experience,
The only reason we suggested we would help you find vendors is because we wanted to remain objective. Because I honestly have no idea how we've been pulled into this conflict.
Mhm.
It does not exist. We will help you facilitate it. We'll, if you want us to play the role to solve the problem, that's fine. But this is predicated
I agree.
on an existing vendor choosing to cancel a contract, which is based upon things that don't exist.
Do we still have to have somebody to manage the new website?
90% of my websites do not have management services. That's completely up to y'all. All management services, you can do it a la carte, where if you have once every 6 months or what have you, a change to be made to the website, you can call someone. That's how we typically do it to save our clients money.
I thought that's what y'all were doing right now. If you had access to MPC, you were going to be changing the website for updates or whatever.
That's a one-time modification to configure the way.
To set it.
We on our last meeting, we
Yeah.
talked about having a group discussion with whoever would like to be involved to get the input on the kinds of changes we'd like to see in the website. We're still pending that. We're a month past that. But that would be a one-time project.
Yeah.
Once it's complete, I mean, ask yourselves, you've had the website for 10 years and how many times have you changed it? Once. And so just if you're worried about costs, you're paying three hours a month right now in a service agreement that you've used maybe 10 hours in the last 10 years. So from a fiscal responsibility standpoint, my recommendations to the board is not go on a maintenance plan. It's not necessary. Save the money and use it as needed if you have a change. But if you want to have that ability to just call and not have to work, just do this, do that, that's the reason why maintenance agreements are created. But your website is very simple. It's not complicated. It's not technical. Highly technical e-commerce sites, etc. I would definitely be recommending a couple hours dedicated. But your site simply doesn't move. It's not warranted. But if to answer your question very clearly, yes, we can support all these things. We're simply wanting to be objective and not have any suggestion that we're trying to get in NBC's business, because we're absolutely not.
Okay.
We're simply reacting to a statement where they said we're canceling service, or y'all have to fire us if you're gonna. If you want us to let them do what they need to do, then we're just gonna fire.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so
All right, all right.
question is, do we let MPC cancel our contract and we spend money to reset all this stuff up? And continue to pay now another $500 a month to manage our website hosting, which is, I thought was part of the original contract.
It won't be any website hosting if we take it over.
Mhm.
It'll just be us.
So there'll be no charge. So then the 8,000, there'll be no charge. So we'll actually save 8,000. We'll just need to find somebody for the 200, the live streaming.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. But yeah, that's the one part that I can handle all the rest of it and subscribing, absolutely. But
That's not your job, remember?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
No, but it
my
doesn't have to be.
expertise, that's for sure.
It doesn't have to be. It just sits there
Right.
and they put in the content from what my understanding, right? It just sits there.
Yeah, but 10 years ago, we didn't have online payment. Somebody had to build that apparatus and put in there, am I not correct?
But it's already built.
Yeah.
Those apparatuses are already built. It's
Yeah,
literally a plug.
So we're just
play.
gonna give it all.
No, I don't want to give it all to, that's not my thing. I agree with them that Border Affairs doesn't take it all. I don't agree that they should have the whole setup. If we want to hire a management company, as he recommended, then we go with somebody else. I don't think we need a management company and we save $8,000. But if y'all want to go with a management company, then fine, but I don't think we need it. to manage the website, because that's exactly what he said. We didn't need it.
This
But
is,
they- but they
still be a
can-
mess.
They can handle that.
They can handle it. I mean,
Yeah, why not just keep it in one? Because I don't want another vendor. It just gets too complicated.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
further we get into DHS, the more problems we're gonna find. So, yeah, the minimum
Mm.
hands-on we
Yeah.
have, the better. So,
Let them handle it and let's give it a shot and
Okay.
see what happens.
you can do that.
Yeah. All right.
Only money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't
We're
have.
saving, if they're gonna handle it all, we're saving $200.
Yep.
They're charging us 500 and PC's charging us 700.
That's not right. You're reading that wrong.
Yeah,
Am I reading that wrong? Is
Yeah.
that wrong?
700 is
No, no.
for the
that's
entire
different. The
program.
16 Different, the six, that whole, yes, the PR is different. It is.
700 is a month and
Yeah.
6,000 is a month.
But you're not getting it at it's
No,
different.
you're not getting it, Stacy. I'm
I don't
sorry.
understand it.
We're already paying the 7,000, we're already paying, that's a separate charge. The public relations is a whole
It's a
different.
different thing. It's a different thing.
Comparing orange to apples, it's
Yeah,
different, it's different.
exactly.
We're talking about what MPC is providing right now, the services that are providing.
pay NPC a year,
8,200,
8,200, and we're gonna spend 78,000.
No, you're adding the other service
They
here.
can do, they
Okay.
can do everything.
Let's
they're doing.
close it up. Let's put it on for a vote. I gotta get out of here. I think it's enough discussion.
Well, we need a motion.
I move that considering what MPC has on contract, I move that we hire border affairs to handle the emails, website and live streaming to take over the services that MPC had been providing.
Do we need to get a cost for that first, or?
I believe that was a proposal already.
The only addition is the 500.
Okay.
It's just the website management. It doesn't have anything to do with the
I
live
haven't,
stream.
by the
Okay.
way, I haven't had a chance to look at this new
Yeah,
contract.
it's all,
Just keep that in mind.
yeah.
Okay, so okay, then,
I'm seeing it.
so you haven't, you've seen it for the first time?
Well, we just got it the other day.
I sent it to you the 21st.
The 21st,
And we are
I
the
haven't
first.
and we're on the first.
So we,
Again, there's some miscommunications.
Let me ask you this.
Okay,
If we go back to MPC and say, will you give them the access that they need?
and
Will we
can't-
still want to get rid of MPC? Since we're already set up with. I mean, this is not something we have to vote on today.
exactly. So with that said that you haven't, let me resend my comment because I haven't finished it. So you haven't seen any of this stuff? Allison?
Some
I
of
haven't
it.
seen this. I haven't seen most of this, what's in front of me now.
Okay,
I have not seen this. Well, this is July 27th, 2024.
That's the one that was decided back in March.
But I haven't seen that. I have not seen the July 21st. I
I-
haven't seen this proposal.
That's new.
I haven't seen any of this. In full, this in.
so,
One reason is we never thought it was going to get to this point.
okay.
Absolutely.
And you're right, we don't have to act on it today. So what if we table the item, get proposal for doing this work
Right.
Right.
as we've discussed?
Right.
And not necessarily only from border affairs, but get quotes
Sure.
from other
There's a lot of
vendors.
IT companies around
Yeah,
that we can find.
Yeah.
And-
So that we
And
can
give
put it on.
NPC the opportunity, since they've been a vendor for us for 10 or 11 years. And actually in their defense, it doesn't matter to me who we go with. My issue is the cost, and if we can get this done economically. And, we've already voted for this, so
Yeah.
we're in that.
Yeah. So there were additional services.
So
We're
we
adding-
need to know ahead of time what the additional services is gonna cost us. If there's a cost for setting up a new site, whatever, that NPC is doing now, he said you can just transfer it over. I'm sure there's gonna be a charge for that. And then, no? Okay,
Should be. Should be.
but anyways,
Mhm.
we need to make sure that we got all that stuff.
Sure.
So get an updated contract with all of the items discussed here, therefore.
Absolutely.
And
Okay.
make sure that Allison has a
Sure.
Reviews.
there.
Yeah.
He'd probably go to her first. wouldn't he?
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because we depend on her. I
exactly.
mean, that's why that's why we're paying
The
the
agenda says we don't
regular
we
public.
don't have to take action.
That's
So
correct.
Right.
Correct.
And I agree with you.
We can
We
just put it
can
on
postpone it
until the meeting.
till the next meeting. We'll put it on the agenda again. That'll give us enough time to,
I
Research
hope
it.
that I can get everything.
Yeah.
done by then.
Which was the original intent was to put it in a regular board meeting, not a special meeting.
right?
So we're gonna give both sides the opportunity.
Oh, absolutely.
And not only both,
Even a third
a
party.
third,
Yeah,
and
we
get
get-
other quotes.
Fifth, whatever.
Whatever we can come up with.
This is business, guys.
Yeah.
This is just for the internet services,
These are for those services that MPC is providing right now.
Right.
Okay.
not the public relations. It's already,
Nephew told me,
it's already taken.
Uncle Lefty, this is business. My nephew.
Yeah, and our job as commissioners is to run this like a business.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which means we should be constant of the bottom line.
I agree.
Businesses don't provide, that they make it.
All about cash flow.
In order to make a profit, you gotta, in order to make a profit, you gotta have an item to sell.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
is that,
so,
I'm okay with
we're
that.
just gonna table it till the next meeting.
I move that we table this item to the next meeting.
Made by Commissioner Trevino, second by Commissioner Cavazos. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Just an uncomfortable, footnote in the